Peace. Yeah. What's good, family? Yeah. A1 Drizzy. Dom De Leon. Trap the Dom. Peace. Sean Green. Boom, Buffalo up in this bitch. Shard Haynes. Peace. Joanne, peace. Fred B. Jams, what's up with Building 7? Building 7 still coming. Have patience. It's still coming, trust me. What's good, y'all? Heck 9 in this bitch, I see you. That's right, DPS, God Pod Squad, let's navigate. Come on. Hit that like button. Hit that share button, let people know we're in the house. Thank you. Ice in Minnesota ain't playing. Heck nah. Black Power shirt. Thank you. All right. Welcome to the God Pod with Lord Jamal. I am Lord Jamal. Welcome back. Another day. New week. Yeah, things been going on in the news. Thought we should talk about it. Yeah, today is Thursday, July 8th. Making today's math build, destroy. Not build or destroy. It's build, destroy. Okay? Because when you build, right, when you add on to something, you're taking away from something else. So when you build on your knowledge, you're taking away from your ignorance simultaneously. You see? So it's not an or type of thing. It's a symbiotic relationship. If you build a building, you're adding to that building, but you're taking away from the negative space that existed before that building was there simultaneously. You see? Uncivilized Savage, peace. I see you. What's good? Leah Sawyer, peace. I see you. So yeah, some people say build or destroy. I don't like when they say build or destroy. It's not build or destroy. It's build, destroy. Because in the inverse, when you destroy, right, you're taking away from what you've built, from what was built. So when you destroy something, you're destroying something that already existed, that was already built. So again, even in the inverse, if it was destroy, build, it's still not a war thing. It's still, they go hand in hand. Peace. Cousin Craig. I see you, Craigo. Cousin Kyrie, I think hopefully you just tuned in. We were just on the phone. I told you I was going to get on because it's funny. Cuzzo hit me up just before I was about to get on. It was like, yo, cuz, what you think about Venezuela? You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? I was just about to get on. And we was going to build on some of those things, you know? So yeah, I appreciate everybody joining in. Please click that like button, click that share button so we could play with these algorithms. And hang on, this is a good question. So does 4 represent culture freedom, not culture or freedom? Yeah, it's culture/freedom, correct. Uh-huh. It's power refinement, not power or refinement. The culture, once you receive that proper way of life, it frees your dome. You're receiving freedom simultaneously as you receive culture. So it's culture freedom. When you receive power, when you access your power, you have refined yourself in order to do so. You've refined your mind. You've refined your body. It's the only way you'll have access to the power. So again, these are things that are not ors. Okay? But good question. Thank you. So yeah, let's get into it. Fuck is going on. Fuck is going on. Trump went into Venezuela and basically bombed these motherfuckers. Some say kidnapped, some say rescued. Who knows? The president and his wife captured their oil. And now you have different factions that some feel like it was a good thing he did, and some feel like it was some bullshit. Here goes Trump again, overstepping, his power and, all of that type of stuff. So what is it? Well, what do we think is really going on here? A1 Drizzy said gas prices went down. Truck driver giving his American salute. America first. I'd like to believe America first. That sounds good. But then when things happen that, when moves are made that it doesn't seem like it's always America first, and sometimes it seems like Israel first, that makes you question whether the America First motto is something that these people really believe in. Because if it is something that you truly believe in, I could fuck with that. I could fuck with that. We talk about, in our alphabets, S is self-savior. In order to save yourself, in order to save others, you have to save yourself. Okay? You must save yourself first before you can save others. So the fact that, Trump is out here pushing this America First agenda, it sounds good, but you got to keep that energy all the way around the board. And when it comes to certain interests, we know that's not the case. A lot of people are saying that the moves that Trump made in Venezuela were kind of like, you know, the moves in Cuba, back in the days with the Cuban Missile Crisis, whereas they are trying to stop, you know, countries like Russia or China from having an established base in the Americas, to have a place where if they wanted to, you know, they can launch missiles from uh, uh, a place within the Western Hemisphere. Um, some some say that this is about taking a dictator out of power. Now it's funny because and apparently the dude is a dictator, like he lost, but then kept power and all this type of shit. If I'm not mistaken. Um, and he really is a drug dealer. So, but not to say other leaders of countries are not drug dealers and, have not manipulated shit. But, it's funny how, just a few months ago, people were calling Trump a dictator and having these no kings protests and all this type of shit. And then he goes and takes down a real dictator. And then those same people are mad. I truly believe that TDS is real. TDS is real, people. What is TDS, GPS? Trump derangement syndrome. Trump derangement syndrome. I'm telling you, I don't give a fuck what this dude do. Good or bad. Like, especially good. If he do some good shit, y'all will find a way to be like, I'm not fucking with it. You know what I mean? Especially these liberal fucking, motherfuckers who are still butthurt from the election. Uncivilized savage. Thank you. He said, my president slides and pulls drills. America first. That's fucking hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. Hey. I'm very conflicted about this, to be honest. I'm conflicted about it because there's certain things that I could agree with. But then there's certain things that I can't. You know what I mean? And, the whole, well, I guess the code word now is juice box, right? That whole angle is just very disturbing when you look at what's going on in the region and, who might benefit from what. Peace. Dom DeLeon said, what happened to the 2K Trump's supposed to run us? We need our bread. I don't know. Maybe he got to get it from, you know, he got to get some of that money back from them daycare centers in order to send you this shit. Maybe you got to steal some more oil from a motherfucker. I don't know. Where's the fucking money? But he did run you that check the first time. Oh yeah, that stimulus check was courtesy of your boy Trump. So he did it once. I'm sure he's down for doing it again. Um First of all, let me just say this whole shit about oil, right? And fossil fuels. Y'all know that's some bullshit too, right? Put that on the list of, you know, like flat earth and dinosaurs and evolution and you know, black people in America from fucking Africa and all this bullshit. Put that on the list of things. Okay? Outer space. Oil does not come from fossil fuels. Oil is not something that is hard to find. Okay? They played us by making it seem like it's a rare thing and da 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 da, and we need, you know, to get it from here. Listen, man, it's all part of the bullshit. It's all part of the bullshit. Yes, Venezuela has gold too. You know, it's funny. They said Venezuela has maybe more gold than all the gold mines in Africa. Did I read that right? That Venezuela has more gold than all the mines in Africa? Y'all look that up. And if that's the case, wasn't y'all, you know, when we was into the whole Pan-African thing, right? Didn't we say that Africa had the most of everything? Oh yeah, Africa got the most diamonds and and the most gold and this and that. Okay, that's not true. Is that false? Because all the shit that they say that Africa is dominant in, it seemed like we got that shit over here too. Check on the 100 tons of silver that we removed that night. They are not the largest in oil. Let's look this up. Hang on a second. Let's see. Is gold hitting record highs. Let's see. Venezuela possesses the largest official gold reserves in Latin America. Okay. According to the World Gold Council, which as well as reserves are approximately 161.2 metric tons, worth more than 23 billion in today's market. Oh, guess who's number one in gold reserves? The United States. And I guess this is gold reserves. We're not talking about natural gold, though. Okay. We need to look up the natural gold. But if you're curious about gold reserves, number one is United States. Number two is Germany. Number three is Italy. 4 is France. 5 is Russia. And 6 is China. Top gold producers. Number 1 is China. Number 2. Well, is this the order? Okay, now I guess number 2 would be Australia, then United States, then Russia. They said the largest untapped gold reserves in the world are in Russia and Australia. Shit. Indian housewives own the most gold privately. Shit. Okay. Interesting. Split view makes it easier to multitask. Remind me later. Why are y'all showing me this shit now? Oh, there she is. There goes the queen. Peace, Michelle. Happy New Year. Oh, look at you. You got a new avatar pic. We like your hair like that. She said, peace, Lord Jamal. Sorry I missed class last week. Couldn't stop by the God Pod without tithing. Love y'all, GPS family. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate you as always. That's the queen right there. The fuck are you talking about? How are you this week, Michelle? And I fast and pray that you are continuing your journey into health. And I hope I'm adding inspiration. I put up a nice workout that I did yesterday. Supposed to be what they call a jail workout, where you ain't got to really use weights. It's all body weight type of shit, full body workout type of shit. It's probably still up in my stories if you want to see what I was doing. But Michelle, thank you. Love you. Appreciate you as always. Michelle Williams. What's up, Zambian? Right now, we're talking about Venezuela. We're talking about the pros and cons of what's going on down there, because, I've seen videos where people from Venezuela are like, what the fuck are y'all protesting for? We're happy that this motherfucker is gone. We're happy that this dictator who's been here for the past 25 years, stealing from the people and fucking losing elections and not leaving type of shit. Like, they're happy about these actions that are happening. So they're curious as to why, certain Americans might be protesting about it. But then also, Zambian, we're looking at the, we know there's some funny shit going on as far as, Israel's is concerned, as far as just trying. Oh, yes, you can definitely get on the line, Zambian. This is a reoccurring room, right? So the link from last time will always work. It's the same link every time. Truly Zambian has entered the studio. My brother. Peace.
Peace, peace, peace. Lord Jamal was good. What's happening, chat?
How are you, my brother?
I'm good, thank you. I'm real good. A bit cold here in Scotland, but we in here.
Oh, you're in Scotland.
Yes, indeed.
So, what's your thoughts on this Venezuelan situation?
Yeah. Geopolitically, this is a nuclear bomb. That's the way I see it. It's you were just saying, you've seen some Venezuelans online who are celebrating and wondering what everyone else is making a fuss over this for. But it just it might all be gravy now, because if this guy's been a dictator and he's been responsible for disappearing people and all the rest of it, there'll be some corners that will be celebrating. Might even be more people celebrating than tearful of his removal from power. But what comes next is what they should be worrying about. It's not necessarily, you might be replacing one devil with another.
Oh, well, definitely look at the woman they're trying to replace him with already. Like, exactly. and see, this is the type of shit that makes me say, what the hell are they doing here? Like, this woman, like, literally, she said one of the first things she want to do is she wants to go to Israel, and she wants to bring the Venezuelan embassy to Israel.
Yeah.
Like, why would that be the first thing that you want to do? Unless these are the people that are putting you in this position and now you're just kowtowing to them. You see? Like, why would they choose her? And she actually seems like another one of those, the same way the Mexican president, that female Mexican president who's all about, juice box. Yeah, seems like it's the same fucking play right there. So that's what makes me say, what is this really about?
And the whole argument of removing Maduro to replace him with Rodriguez, the vice. If you're saying Maduro was corrupt and he rigged the election, then how can you replace him with his vice, who was brought in on the same through the same election? So it's definitely a case of we're putting a puppet in place who will do what they're told.
Now, when you said worrying about the future, what could happen, what do you think are some of the pitfalls that can come out of this?
Well, for a start, for America, this could end up just being like another Middle East situation where you've gone into a situation without an exit strategy, an exit plan, and you end up getting bogged down there, especially if they do end up having boots on the ground. Given what Trump said, about we're going to run Venezuela for the foreseeable.
Right.
Okay, what does that mean? Are you going to be running the country by remote control through a puppet administration, or are you going to have boots on the ground? If you have boots on the ground, then it starts bringing back nightmares of the Middle East, where you got, how long was it? 20 plus years that they were stuck in the Middle East,
right? And if you have boots on the ground, I don't see that as America first. Like, what the fuck you been talking about? Why the fuck you putting boots on the ground in Venezuela when we need America first?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then the other issue, this whole thing, this is what really frustrates me with the political system. you're on one hand, you've been railing against immigration and immigrants, pretty much all of the global north countries talking about how much they don't want immigrants and they're all of a sudden anti-immigration. Well, if you don't want immigrants, stop destabilizing other countries. By destabilizing Venezuela, you're going to end up creating a humanitarian crisis, and those people will be moving up through Central America into North America looking for a better life. It's just human nature. So it is really frustrating with this thing of just, especially the fact that it's an unauthorized invasion, the fact that there's no consensus for it, and it's unilateral action. It could get messy.
Real quick, just came to my head. I want to shout out my man Marvin, right? I used to have when I lived in Brooklyn on 560 State Street, I had a superintendent of the building. His name was Marvin, and he was from Venezuela. And Marvin was a cool motherfucker. Like, Marvin was like younger than you would think he would be. Like, this dude was like only in his 30s or some shit, but this motherfucker knew how to do everything type of shit. And I guess he learned that shit in Venezuela and shit. And he's one of the only people from Venezuela that I feel like I really knew like that. Because when you live in New York, you mostly meet like, Puerto Ricans or Mexican or, anything else but some of those more exotic Spanish shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, we got them all here in New York. But shout out my man Marvin. I ain't seen him in years.
Known a few Venezuelans here. Those who tried to flee the situation at home.
Right.
Yeah.
And what do you think about people that say, this is just America been wanted to get Venezuela's oil, and now, Trump is just ballsy enough to go in there and do it.
Yeah, I mean, for starters, you'd have 100% heard on any of the media. It's definitely thrown world order out the window. Rules-based order, all of that is gone. And that is a real danger, especially to the United States, because, as you said, it's no longer, you've gone beyond America first. You've basically switched things now to America only. And what's happening is you've alienated yourself from all your allies. So in Europe, all the discussion now is, how do we untangle ourselves from America and stand on our own, because we can't depend on the United States as an ally. And now all of that might sound like, okay, you're little old Europe, what are you going to be able to do? But as soon as Europe is able to stand on their own 2 feet, all of these US bases in Europe will be out. That's just what I would think would happen, because if they're thinking, because he's also gone and talking about taking over Greenland,
right?
That's in the middle of Europe. You're thinking, you're basically Trump.
What the fuck is that about? Too, I keep hearing he wants to take over Greenland. Like, why?
Again, minerals.
Isn't that run by Denmark or some shit like that?
So it's kind of it's almost an independent country in its own. So Greenland is they've got their own First Nations people, indigenous people there, who don't see themselves as being part of Denmark necessarily. So they're given some autonomy to do their own thing, but they more or less fall under the protection of Denmark. So realistically, in a perfect world, the people of Greenland would be separate from Denmark. They don't necessarily want to be part of Denmark. They see themselves as different. So there's that. But at the same time, Denmark, Greenland, and the rest of Europe isn't just going to let Debo walk in and take over the place. So,
well, I'm looking at where Greenland lies and all of that, and I'm just trying to understand why Trump would feel like, oh, that should naturally be part of America. If anything, it should be part of Canada, right?
Yeah. I mean, so it's all to do with minerals. Minerals is there's, I think Greenland has got, again, like you were just saying earlier, just as I tuned in, I think I heard you saying about speaking about oil. I think they've got some untapped reserves or something, and again, also strategically for its location, it's also like I said, if they don't necessarily want to have or won't be able to have bases in Europe, then they'll want to have, somewhere around there that they can still have U.S. bases. So, for instance, the Russian flagged ship that they'd been chasing from Venezuela, that was intercepted just off. I think it was in the North Sea, but the U.S. Planes had come and touched down in Scotland in order to refuel and everything, and then take off again and intercept the ship that they'd been chasing. So that's why it's important to have these strategic allies, around the place. So, and if you're going around making yourself an enemy of everyone will just kind of go, well, maybe you can go find a base somewhere else, and then all of a sudden it makes it more difficult to keep an eye on, things.
Hang on, we got Don 773 TV. I think he wants to add on to the conversation. I'm gonna just bring him up with us. Don, what's good?
Hang on, we got Don 773.
You got to turn your joint down, and it's delayed. I see.
Don, what's good?
What's going on, boss? Glad to see you back, man. Hold on,
Yes,
let
sir.
me get this. I got too much.
Yeah,
Hold on 1 second.
There you go.
All right, I got you. I can't even hear. 1 second, man. Let me get my mic on. I thought I was ready, and I ain't ready. All that comment.
It's all good. If you give me a signal or some shit, I'll take you off and bring you back and go like this or some shit when you're ready. I'll see you. Say Greenland has a lot of iron, uranium, possibly oil and gas reserves.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, as it relates to the American citizens, does all this worldly activity put us Americans in danger?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, isn't Americans always in danger from the bullshit that they do around the world? Are we any more in danger than we were, when Bush was in fucking office or some shit? You know what I mean?
I think it makes people remember, because it's like if you think of with what's happening with Russia and Ukraine, people had kind of just let Russia slide, and then when they went into Ukraine, it brought up a lot of the anti-Russia feeling. So so that's what it does. All of a sudden, people will now start talking about American imperialism and so on. So it might not necessarily be, like, people at least have the sense to separate Trump's regime from, the people. So unless you're an out and out MAGA, ordinary Americans won't necessarily face, for instance, abuse, but it means, places overseas where Americans will be either congregating, American embassies will suddenly become targets, and that's where then you can become, an innocent bystander who gets caught up in the crossfire when somebody's shooting up an embassy in Kenya or something like that.
Facts. If you're just joining us, we're talking about, the Trump Venezuela situation. I'm on the line right now, my man, Truly Zambian. We just going over the different aspects, because this thing is very multi-layered, it seems like. There's a lot of layers to this, just not so straightforward. Oh, he went in there. And first of all, when do you hear about, all right, the president get arrested, but then his wife gets arrested too? Like, usually they'll take a Saddam Hussein or whoever the fuck. When do you hear about them taking the wife?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a little weird? You there, Zambia?
Yeah, the whole operation was dirty.
Like to me, that almost sounds like, hold up, did they really arrest him, or did they, rescue him?
Extradite him.
Yeah, did they extradite him? That's the great word. Did they extradite his ass? Well, I got to bring my wife with me too. I'm not leaving without my wife. All right, she could come. Because who the fuck does that? Unless she was throwing chocolates at them or some shit like that while they was trying to get him. And they was like, fuck it, bring her ass too. This motherfucker hit you with a goddamn chocolate. I ain't with that shit.
Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense, because especially for the fact that you're saying that you've arrested them on charges of, he was a fugitive of justice. Is like, but he was never in America to be a fugitive. You can't be a fugitive of justice from a justice system that you were never subject to. So that's, it is, and this is, again, it comes back to what I was saying about, it looks like this hasn't really been thought out all the way. They didn't get their story straight, and they've gone charging in there, guns blazing, and okay, now what's your cover story? Because everyone around the world is going, nah, you haven't really got a basis for this. And, if coming back to this whole thing about a rules-based order, he will have a case against the United States government if, I don't think there is an if about it. He has got a legal case against the US government. I'll give you an example. When Libya went down, there was somebody who was not extradited. There's another word. Anyway, the British government had a hand in getting this person either handed over to the Libyans or something like that. And he had a legal case, and he took it to whichever international court it was, and the British government was found liable, and they had to go into their pocket, because you can't just do things like this. It comes back to that's, there's got to be order in the world, and we all have to follow the same kind of playbook and the same rule book. So that's where it's messy what they've done and how they've done it. And I don't know if their game plan is basically, we'll do whatever we want for as long as we're in office, and damn the consequences. They just don't think that far ahead.
Don, you good? You good now, Don? Your shit working? All right, hang on. Let's bring Don. What's good, Don?
What's good, Lord? Man, glad to see you back, bro. Happy New Year to all players, man.
Happy New Year's, man. Where you calling from?
Man, 773 reporting live out the.
I'm not that good with zip codes and shit like that. Where you at? Area codes. Hang on, you broke up. Where's 773? Is that Virginia or some shit like that? I don't hear you now. You done cut out on me, Don. You started strong. Poor Don.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm reporting out the shot though, man. I was tapping in because it's a funny situation with that Venezuelan president. I seen, it's like been 50-50, because you see the people out there celebrating it like it's a win for them. And then on the other hand, you got some people saying, well, it's not a good thing. So I got kind of confused. I'm like, if the people out there celebrating this, why, it's really not our fight. We should really just mind our business. But I was listening to Brother Dewan B. I know you're familiar with him. And he made like he said, just because, somebody else being oppressed or something, we don't got to celebrate it. It takes some of our moral high ground away. So I'm still leaning with, ain't our business, man. If they over there celebrating, let them people get jacked. And I'm going like this. Okay, if they was, and because they was, remember we had all those people being sent over here under the pretense that they was asylum seekers. So if it was that bad for those people where they couldn't live and we had to come save them, it's just due. They got to pay. So I ain't knocking them taking that oil if we had to go save them.
Okay. I mean, again, I don't know why America always thinks like it's Captain Save-A-Ho of the world. You understand what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck made America the savior of the world? Like,
and that's the thing, is it's definitely not genuine as well. It's one of these things that there's something that America's getting out of it.
Right. because there's so much, not to cut you off, but there's so much unjust shit that goes on in other parts of the world that everybody turns a blind eye to. So now why this? You know what I mean? Why this? And now you hear this motherfucker almost threatening Colombia. Did you hear that? Talking about they drug dealing in Colombia and we about to deal with them next and all this type of shit. Yeah. I know a bunch of young men from America right now that would be like, hands off Colombia. Because the niggas love Colombia right now, boy. Ooh wee. They love Colombia. They be having their ass up here. There's a lot of I told y'all Colombia is the new DR, right?
Yeah.
So don't fuck with Colombia, because you're gonna be fucking with a lot of people's vacation plans. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And you see again, it's that kind of bully boy mentality is going to end up uniting the South American countries, because they're all going to say, hey, look, it could be any of us next. We need to stand together. And, you know, it's the danger again will be, even if they do say, right, we're going to go into Colombia next. If the Colombians manage to piece things up with Peru, with Bolivia, with Chile, you know, if they say, look, we all got to have each other's back, America could go charging into Colombia to try to take out their president, and they get caught slipping. It ends up being like another Black Hawk Down, where, you know, this is going to take a quick 30 minutes for us to be in there and out, and you end up being bogged down, losing, you know, tons of men, and having to explain to people's families why their loved ones ain't coming home.
Right. And see, what America don't understand, especially about them South American countries, them motherfuckers be about that war shit. Okay? Like, them motherfuckers know about going to war and being on some soldier shit, and yeah, Sandinistas and all that type of shit. You know, you could fuck around and have a Vietnam situation going down there fucking around. You know what I mean? They got jungles. They got all that ill shit down there where, you know,
I think they still have
be such an easy fucking party like you think it is. Hang on, I got my cousin Craig. My cousin Craig, and I don't know him to be into politics, but he's in the room right now. Cousin Craigo, what's good?
What's good? What's good, cuzzo? What's good, man? How y'all feeling, man? How you feeling, man?
I'm great.
Yo,
man.
Let me tell you. I'm pretty much in tune on what's going on. But what I wanted to come up here real quick and just say, you know, China just did a deal with Venezuela, with the Venezuelan president, a few hours before they captured him, right? They just put up $100 billion for the oil. And they got a very good rapport with China.
Right.
And then this morning, I was listening to some international news, not to cut your wisdom, but China just gave Donald Trump a fucking ultimatum, my cousin.
Which was? What was the ultimatum?
They want that man free. They want him free. Him and his wife brought back to his country, safe and sound. It was four steps they wanted, but I know the last one they wanted to negotiate. But the first one, they want him to bring his wife, him back to Venezuela, man. Word. And it was $100 billion deal they just did with China. If you do your research and you look back into it, they show you that the prime minister of China and the president was out there a few hours before that happened to him. So they feel disrespected.
Well, I'll tell you what, that don't sound good at all, because
hell no, that's why I'm putting you on.
This nigga Trump is not one for ultimatums. Okay, like his ego ain't gonna, telling you, his
Right.
ego don't allow no motherfucker to tell him, nigga, you better bring them motherfuckers back or else type of shit. Like that motherfucker Trump be
And
trying to let his nuts hang, B, and he is not.
that's just it's dangerous. It's like what your man. It's like what your man just said. It's like what he said. Like, because now you got Colombia, you got Brazil, you got North Korea getting involved, you got Iran, then you got China, and China's allies with Russia. So they already, you know what I mean, hearing each other from ear to ear type shit. So I don't know, cuz it's looking spooky, man.
Well, listen, man. At the end of the day, even if there was a World War III, I don't want people to worry like, oh, they're gonna use nuclear weapons and blow up they're not gonna fucking blow up the
Oh
world.
nah. China already made that clear.
As a way to make you feel like they got a checkmate on the world, and if they wanted to, they could destroy the world. No, I don't even believe that they got fucking nuclear weapons like that per se. Like they got strong bombs and shit like that, but all that fucking capability.
I mean, we got technology that can intercept things. Yeah, we got technology, but I don't know. You can't intercept everything, though. You know what I mean?
They're not blowing up the world, though, is what I'm saying. So don't worry about no nuclear problems and shit. But you good, Craigo? Happy New Year, cousin.
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. Likewise, man. Likewise. I appreciate you pulling me up, man. For real. Yeah, see, I said to myself, my cousin probably don't even know I'm into this politics and shit, man.
Yeah,
so, let me get up here and let you know I know a little.
First met with
him.
You be like, Venezuela, where that at? But yeah.
Nah, but they also Congress is against what he did, man. When he did, he ain't go to them, so they feel I don't know what you want to call it, butthurt, heartbroken. Yeah. Yeah, they got him looking like he committed a war crime, man.
Hey.
Yeah.
We're gonna see how this shit plays out. I'm gonna check
Basically.
you out.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yes,
Salute
sir.
to everybody in the chat panel. Yeah.
No doubt.
Wow.
GPS in this bitch. Yes. So listen, you want to stay with me, Zambian? Because I want to change.
Let's kick it.
I want to change topics. So, did you see the woman who was shot by the ICE agent?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hang on. Uncivilized Savage said, "What's the use of being a superpower if you don't abuse your authority? If these third world burrito eaters don't fall in line, they can all get it. America first." Yo, you're fucking hilarious, Uncivilized Savage.
Yo, I like burritos though.
And he said, "I like burritos." Yeah, I like burritos. Even though I'm not gonna lie, burritos are a little heavy for me. I'm not usually like heavy. It's got all that rice in there. It's just the rice with the fucking. It's a little too much, don't you think?
Get like 4 different types of beans in there, like.
That's what I'm saying. It's rice, it's beans, it's a wrap, it's a starchy mess. God damn it! Give me a good old quesadilla or a fucking a taco, a regular taco. I like those burrito tacos. I'm not gonna lie. Ever since I started eating beef again, I'm sorry, people. Yes, I eat beef. Woo, them burrito tacos. Goodness gracious.
Tamales.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress. So we saw the lady, yes.
Yep.
Now, how many angles did you see, Truly Zambian? Did you only see one, or did you see more than one?
I saw 2 angles.
You saw the front and the back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Based on what you saw of seeing all angles, what's your take on that situation?
Well,
Because I want to hear what you say, and then I'll tell you what I think about it.
even objectively speaking, as somebody who's anti-police, that's again, the story doesn't stack up, and the problem is that the administration has painted themselves into a corner by coming out too quick with a nonsensical cover story saying the guy was it was self-defense. You can't plead self-defense for again on someone who's fleeing from you. He had his gun drawn before the car started moving forward. When the wheels of the car were turned away from him, it's messy. I think all them ICE boys are cowards anyway, so I'm not going to be going to bat for him.
Right. See, to me, I don't feel like it's about going to bat for anybody. I feel like it's just about right and wrong and common sense. Number one, why was the woman there? Because there wasn't an action against the woman. Why was she there? She was blocking traffic with her vehicle. Yes? Was that what she was doing?
That could be an interpretation, yeah.
No, that's what they said she was doing. She was blocking traffic in protest of these ICE agents that were trying to, quote unquote, do their job, whether people agree with their job or not. These people are law enforcement, right? And just because they're law enforcement that people doesn't like, that doesn't mean you can necessarily break the law. Okay? She shouldn't have been there with her vehicle, number one. Hang on. In a second, I'm going to show you this second angle, which clearly shows the woman hit the man with the fucking car. If a man has his gun out, why did the vehicle move forward? Why would she move her vehicle forward? You see, like we're ignoring common sense when it comes to shit like that. But I'll tell you why it moved forward. Because a black person probably would have not kept driving, because we know these motherfucking police don't play. This motherfucker might kill me. But this is where that white fucking privilege, that white fucking mental, oh, they're not going to do nothing to me. Let me get the fuck out of here type of mentality came into play. She damn near ran the motherfucker over and got popped. It's like, I don't understand. Like, I understand people don't fuck with ICE and they might be bad and all of that. But in this particular situation, I feel like they're showing one angle of it in order to, again, get that fucking emotions out of people, get that George Floyd blood boiling, that, you know, motherfuckers did some shit that is unjust. She was breaking the law, sir. She was breaking the law. And from what I can see, she tried to run the motherfucker down with her fucking car. I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else to say about that. Like, that's not cool.
So you don't see it as an extrajudicial killing. You see it as a justified killing?
What do you mean extradition? What do you mean? I don't even know what that word. You're too fancy with me.
Well,
with
I'm being kind to the ICE agent and not calling it outright murder. But realistically, if it was any other citizen, that would be murder, because when you have, if he truly feared for his life, you fire once, the car was not heading to, he stepped out of the way. He fired, what, 2-3 shots like after that? That's gone beyond self-defense. And it still ties in with what I said about the fact that he was essentially fleeing. that's
First of
when
all, when
it's no
you're in an
longer.
adrenaline-filled situation like that, once you start shooting, you know, it's almost like potato chips. It's hard to just get one. You know
There
what I
you
mean?
go,
Like
and it'll be
your
and it'll be
reflexes go.
exactly the same for
And I'm not
her. That
saying that you,
one,
huh?
and it'll
But
be
no,
exactly the
it's
same
not
for
the
her.
exact
And
same for her because she didn't have to move the car. She could
but
have complied with the police. Let me just show this video
Of
real quick.
course, she's a human being.
And I just want to
Are you
see what the
allowed to
people
interfere?
think when they see. I'm gonna hold it up on my phone or whatever because I can't get it up on my shit. But hang on, let's just watch this for a second.
Then accelerate away when they confront you? An ICE officer just killed a civilian. But was she innocent? Many are saying yes, based on this clip. Looks like cold-blooded murder, right? Now, before you react, ask yourself, is there something I'm not seeing? Because there's another angle. One mainstream media isn't showing you. Here it is one more time. Look closely. Her car makes contact with the officer. You can see him
Boom.
jolt backwards. And here's a picture showing a bullet through the front windshield, consistent with the vehicle accelerating forward into the agent's path. Now, let's walk through the facts. Is this woman's death a tragedy? Of course. She's a human being. Are you allowed to interfere with law enforcement and then accelerate away when they confront you? No. Did her car make contact with an officer as she accelerated away? The video appears to show, yeah. Did she intend to hit him? We don't know. But let's be charitable and assume no. If your car contacts an officer while you're fleeing, can that officer use deadly force? Yeah. Can the officer know your intent in that split second? No. He's not watching a slowed down clip on social media. He's reacting in real time to a car that just hit him. If you flee law enforcement and your car makes contact with an officer, you are putting your life at risk. And sadly, she rolled the dice and died. Now, this might surprise you, but this operation wasn't triggered by mass deportations. It was triggered by fraud. Yes, it involved deportations, but it was also about billions of dollars allegedly stolen from programs to help children and families. It was legal enforcement for illegal fraud. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter what they were there for. If you don't like what law enforcement is doing, you have options. Protest, vote, sue, run for office, change the law. But when you decide to take the law into your own hands, when you block officers and then speed off in a 2-ton vehicle while they're standing right next to it, you're not creating change. You're creating chaos. And chaos has consequences.
What do you think about that?
I think we're listening to some dude talk a whole lot of babble. The first points, trying to play these games of, can you interfere with the police? And yes, you can. You might get arrested, but yes, you can. I mean, this is the thing that we're always hearing about. America is founded on free speech and blah blah blah. Yes,
Right, you can protest, but can you come at a police with a car? Come on.
Well, that's where, I mean, again, yes, you can. You can roll the dice and you might get shot or whatever.
You can roll the dice and then this type of shit can happen to you.
Exactly. But my argument is I still see it as an extrajudicial killing. I don't think his life was in danger. He pulled the trigger 2-3, more times after the fact. I mean, dude was saying like, the bullet penetrated the windscreen, which shows that she was driving towards the officer. Dude, bullets go forward as well. Like, what are we talking about here? That was such a weak argument.
You said what?
In the video, dude was saying, the bullet penetrated the windshield, which showed that she was driving towards or driving at the agent.
Mhm.
I'm thinking, what is he talking about? A bullet also goes forward. You know, the car could have been stationary. If the bullet was fired, it still would have gone through the front of the windscreen.
Well, what
So
he's saying is it wasn't shot. It's in the video. It looked like he was shooting through the side of the window, type of thing. And I'm sure some of them were through the side. But what he's saying is that particular bullet's trajectory was consistent with the car coming at him. Whether it showed that he was in front of the car at some point when he fired. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I think he was trying to say at that point.
Being in front, or I don't see that he was directly in front, that his life was in danger.
I mean, and the second part, I saw the car hit him. The car hit the motherfucker. Like it moved him out the way, type of shit. I'm just trying to take the emotion out of it. I'm not an ICE lover and all this type of shit. But what I'm not going to do is jump onto the bandwagon of things like this, because this is very much like a George Floyd. They will turn this into a George Floyd type of situation. Okay. And it's like they use shit like this to manipulate us. So they want us to have all this ire. We already don't like ICE because this and that. Now this comes up. And it's just like, hang on, let's just calm ourselves down and take the emotions of how we feel about, you know, the organization or the people behind the organization, and just really look at the situation in itself. And all I'm saying is, if any one of us would have did some shit like that, we would have probably expected to get popped. Like, if I drove my fucking car at the police, I would expect that these motherfuckers gonna pop me. And I feel like it's white arrogance for her to think that she wouldn't have got shot. And now we come into this fucking lady's defense only because we don't like ICE. Only because we don't like ICE and Donald Trump. But I feel like if you really just take the emotions out of it and just really look at what the fuck she was in the wrong. She was in the wrong. She shouldn't have done that. So yes, she might have had the right to be out there, protest with her vehicle. But the minute she decided to move that motherfucker in the direction of that police, she risked herself getting killed. She's out there. I mean, the police are armed people. You know what I mean? If you're not ready to deal with what an armed motherfucker could bring, you need to think twice about what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're saying that the FBI is taking over the investigation, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they find.
Let's see what they find. But I feel like both sides. See, you say that one side came out a little too fast and said it was justified. I think the other side might have came out too fast to try to say, and that's bullshit. You know, the fucking mayor trying to talk all tough and fucking, you know, we don't want you here. And, you know, saying all the fucking liberal shit that, you know, liberals want to hear, and act like he's some tough fucking liberal and using strong words for shock value, you know, as a soundbite, so that everybody can now play this guy. Oh, that was bullshit. That was bullshit. That was bullshit. Like, I'm just saying.
I think
really bullshit?
I think
Mad Negro.
Another factor in it, why people are angry about it, is that ICE has no basis. There's no reason for them to be there in the first place. So I guess that's what they're saying, is that we've got these guys, you know, just roaming around the streets looking for trouble, and that's what you know, if they hadn't been there, that situation wouldn't have arisen in the first place.
Right, but they was there for a reason. Okay. And look what's on the screen right now. This is what I think it boils down to. When keeping it Karen goes wrong, thank you, Turkish Death Threat. That's what the fuck happened. You had a fucking Karen out there that thought she could be out there with her fucking vehicle and, you know, rules and shit don't fucking apply to her. And she's going to fucking block these motherfuckers because she don't like them for whatever fucking reason. And when they tell her to comply, oh, I'm not going to fucking comply. Actually, I'm going to fucking drive off and I don't give a fuck if I almost run you over or not. You better not fucking treat me like I'm a fucking nigger or any of, you know, whoever else, you know, other than a fucking white woman. You better not treat me. You better treat me like a good Karen. And she didn't get Karen that day. She fafoed. She got the fafo. She fucked around and found out that a Karen under the Trump administration could get it too. That the Karen could get it too. God damn it. We live in a you want equality in this world? Okay, there it is, motherfucker. We're gonna treat Karen like niggas too. How about that?
Yeah, I'll still give it up to her as well. That, you know, people are literally, these are people clearly putting their life on the line for a cause that they see is worthwhile. So I salute that.
Wouldn't you? But I mean, you could say the fleet. You could say ICE is putting their life on the line for a cause. It all depends on how you're looking at it. You see what I'm saying?
ICE is supposedly doing their job, so it's not really, you know, like they're fighting for a noble cause. They're just out to get.
Well, some people would think being a police officer is a noble cause. You know what I mean? Some people would think that. I'm just saying it's all about perspective. You see what I'm saying? Some people say being a police officer is a scumbag. Some people would think that it's an honorable profession. You know what I mean? And yes, it's part of their job. And whether it's honorable or not, they still might be risking their lives doing the job. You see?
The difference I'm saying is that when for somebody to be on the front line protesting is you're taking that action to protect or to stand up for people weaker than, I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, you're standing up for people who can't stand up for themselves. That's the point I'm making. And she's made the ultimate sacrifice for her beliefs. You know, let's be 100%, you know, real. There are not many of us who would literally put our life on the line. If hey, there's gonna be a protest march tomorrow for, you know, reparations, you got to turn up. Who's going to turn up there if they know that, hey, ICE agent's going to be out there, and you know them boys keep their finger on the trigger? You know, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I can say I've literally done shit like that in my lifetime. I've been part of protests and marches and was on the front line type of shit. And this is while I was brand Nubian with no fucking fanfare or no shit like that. No media was out there to be like, yo, look at this motherfucker. But I've been there and I understand what could have happened. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I guess if you know, see, I don't think a lot of people take it that seriously though. You see, like, I don't think a Karen is going out there thinking that if she protests, she's risking her life. Well, see, that's what a Karen shit, you know, you're so delusional. You're so,
hold up, Jamal. Hold up.
I'm serious. You really think that someone like her thought that going out there protesting, she would have any danger on her? Do you really think when she went out there that day, she thought any danger would happen to her?
I honestly don't know, and that's what I'm getting at, is that we've now strayed into making this calling her a Karen and saying she thought this or she didn't think that. I don't think that's fair.
You know why? Because her actions, I can only go by her actions. You see, your wisdom, your ways and actions is a manifestation of your knowledge of what's in her head, right? So I can only go by the actions that I saw. She's a white woman in her vehicle out there trying to block traffic because she don't like ICE and whatever operation they were conducting at the moment, right? So that right there puts me into part of her frame of mind. I'm not just assigning her certain shit. I'm going by her wisdom, right? So then the next thing, after being instructed to get out the car or whatever the fucking case, but get out the way, she now decided to, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fucking move, speed forward. She could have just locked her fucking door and sat there, but she decided to put that motherfucker in drive, press on the fucking gas and move towards a fucking agent and actually hit him with the fucking car. Okay. So with all of that information that I've taken in, just that little information, that leads me to believe that she had a certain frame of mind. Okay. And that just, that screamed Karen to me. That screamed someone who didn't think that she felt like, it was her right to protest, but she didn't think in a million years that anyone would actually put hands on her. She's a good white woman. She had blonde hair, for Christ's sake. Who's going to touch me? You see? And that's the fucking attitude that I feel is pervasive with a lot of them motherfuckers. And I feel like that's the type of shit that she exhibited in that moment. You know what I mean? Now, I could be wrong, but I'm just going by what the fuck I saw. And that's why I say that.
Yeah, I ain't going to put that on her because I can't speak to her.
You see, you won't put that on her, but you'll put some shit on the ICE agents, though. You
Sir,
see?
I'm talking about we're going now calling her a Karen, and that's not what I think.
Well, what are we calling the ICE agents?
I just called him an ICE agent. I didn't say any. I called him an ICE agent. My point is, I don't think the shooting was justified. You've got the entire
so you
backing.
Almost called him a murderer, then. You see?
Sorry.
So you see, you assigned something to him. You see, I don't think she was justified in moving that car.
Yeah, I don't think the officer's the agent's life was in danger. You've got the entire backing of law enforcement. If that car had got away, how far would she have gone? I don't think that the shooting was justified.
If the car would have got any further, they might have all started shooting at her, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess you'll never know.
She might have got riddled with bullets. Or she might have ran into a fucking innocent bystander, because you see the car hit some other cars once she got hit and all that type of shit. You don't know. We really, right now, that's just the game of what if, like, you know what I mean? Like, and that could just go on forever. We don't know what would have happened. We just know what did happen. And things on both sides, okay, could have been done to avoid this, right? Things on both sides could have been done to avoid this. Maybe he didn't have to be as aggressive, and maybe she didn't have to be as aggressive. Like, no? Or is it all just she has no culpability in the situation? Is that what you're saying, Zambian?
Not at all. You are smarter than that. I've not said anything along those lines.
I'm just asking you. I'm just saying. I'm saying. I want to know.
But that question is not. It's not asked in good faith, because that's not what I insinuate. She was, totally innocent, or I'm. My point is, I don't think the shooting was justified. I think it went beyond. Even if he popped once, I might have been a bit more understanding. But from as you said, from my viewing of the video, the fact that he's already had his gun drawn. This is, and I would have said the same thing, irrespective of the situation. If a cop has pulled a car over because you're driving with, your blinkers are out, or we ran a search in your tags and you're unregistered or whatever, you're uninsured. If the cop's walking up to your window and he's already got his hand on his gun, I'm saying, well, hold on, what's going on here? Why have you already got your, that's the point.
That's a good point that you make, right? So now, have we seen like video leading up to, because why was his gun out? That's a good question. Why was his gun out? Did she do something prior to that to make them say, hey,
but
I said, get out the car type of shit? You see what I'm saying? Like, because yes, an officer might approach with his gun, with his hand on the gun, but for you to actually draw your weapon, and I feel like he wasn't the only one that had his weapon drawn, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe we can look at it again.
You have to do better than that, Jamar. You can't say let's deal with what we have seen. Either he did or he didn't, and he
had his gun drawn. That's what I'm saying. But why was it drawn?
The partners didn't. So you remember his homie was at the car, so he clearly didn't feel like my life's in danger here, because you're not going and standing practically leaning into the car.
Hang on. Did anybody else have their gun out? That's my question.
No, nobody else did.
Nobody else. He was the only one.
He was the only one. The dude who was closest to the car, practically leaning into the car to speak to the woman, didn't have his gun drawn, didn't have his hand on his gun, etc., etc. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, there's for me, it's an extrajudicial killing. I don't think the shooting was justified. And then the fact that he fled the scene, straight after, it's just all.
Oh wait, I didn't hear about this. What do you mean he fled the scene? I didn't hear no about fleeing no scenes out this. He fled the scene. I didn't hear about that.
Consequences. Nice officer just killed.
Hang on, I'm trying to see if I could just.
Many are saying yes
for a second.
But was she innocent? Many are saying yes, based on this clip. Looks like cold-blooded murder.
Yeah, check that again. It's hard to see on the phone because I don't know if he was the only one that has gun out. I'm just curious why he would pull it out. That's all. You know what I mean?
Clip shows ICE agent flee the scene after fatally shooting woman.
That's what you found just now?
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. Shout out Uncivilized Savage. He said Tim Walsh lined up the beautiful white queen. Yeah, I don't know why Uncivilized Savage is so funny to me, but he just he's a funny motherfucker. Uncivilized Savage, she got a Karen wake-up call. ICE is here to bring balance to the universe. America first. Oh man. Uncivilized Savage, you funny.
So
Mo get it. Lord Jamal, bless up. Peace, Mo get it. What'd you say, Zambia?
Milwaukee Independent says the two officers approach the car. Mm-hmm. One of them says, "Get out of the effing car," and the other reaches through the open driver's side window while trying to open the door. And that's the dude who didn't have his weapon in hand. So you can't be that scared if you're leaning into someone's car. You can't then play the "I feared for my life and had to stop."
Right, but here's the thing. Okay, back up. Somebody yelled, get out the fucking car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that was their first was that their first interaction with this person? You think they just walked up and said, get out the fucking car? Or that might have been
that is what has been reported.
Giving another directive.
That's what's been reported. That's what we have to go with. They two officers get out of their vehicle, the silver SUV.
Right. So they get out of their vehicle. They go up to the woman who's blocking traffic, who's trying to block them from doing their job, and screamed, "Get out the fucking car."
But why are you already on 10? Again, you're supposed to be law enforcement. You know, we can't expect the people who are meant to uphold the law to just be loose cannons and no.
Well, maybe you're tired of going to your job every day and having fucking people yell at you and throw things at you and fucking talk shit to you and fucking you see they're humans too, god damn it. And
take like 6 months mental health leave or something, but if you've got lethal force, you cannot be going, you know, what appears at this point to be a traffic stop, and you're already on 10 with your hand on your gun, you know. Nah,
right.
That's
and you know what? You're probably right about that. But guess what? That's the type of shit we, as especially black males here in America, have had to deal with this whole fucking time.
Exactly.
We've had to deal with motherfuckers that's been on 10. And so now when it happens to a white woman, you know, it's, oh my gosh, it's damn, you say the word again? Unjudged. What's the fucking word you used?
Extrajudicial killing.
Extrajudicial.
Yeah, like judiciary. Extrajudicial killing. Yeah.
It's an I don't know. I can't say judicial. There we go. An extrajudicial fucking shooting, because it's a white woman. With all the extrajudicial shootings of black men, you know,
were equally unjustified, and that's not what I'm defending. I'm not defending this on the basis of it's a white woman. I'm
just saying that's why people get their panties in a bunch. They'll get their panties more in a bunch if it's a white woman than it seems like another day at the office when it's us type of shit. Is all I'm saying. But well, we'll see how this plays out. I'm just saying there's always two sides to every story.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's not. I'm not arguing that there aren't two sides here. I'm just making the point that I don't think that the shooting was justified. And I don't feel like his life was in danger at any point. His partner clearly didn't feel his life was in danger because he felt confident enough to reach into someone's vehicle, you know, to be going into.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying life in danger. The life in danger part comes once the vehicle, because there's a thing called vehicular homicide. A vehicle is a weapon. You understand what I'm saying? So, of course, the officer who's on the side reaching in, they wouldn't feel like their life in danger because they're not in front of the vehicle. The officer who is in front of the vehicle, he's the one who's going to feel like his life is in danger once this woman decides to punch the gas. So it's not like she was sitting in there with a gun and they all felt threatened in that manner. No. The life in danger part came once she hit the gas. That's when the life in danger, that's when my life was threatened. Before that, they were mildly annoyed. You know what I mean? They try to use maybe stronger tactics than they should have to get this woman out of her fucking car. Okay? But no, it's not like you know, oh, they all felt like they were in danger type of shit. No, the one officer who should have felt like he was in danger was the one that had the car coming towards him. And that's the one that clapped her. So that's all I'm saying. That, you know, it wasn't about all of them being in danger. It was about whoever was in front of that fucking car was able to get hit by it. Those was the ones, that's who was in danger.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
So listen, this is my last thing right here, right? You might as well stay for the whole thing, Zambian.
Let's go.
Because I thought this was fucking, to me, I thought this was ridiculous. And I'm not gonna say who I had this conversation with because I don't want to blow them up.
Because you don't want to snitch.
In a way. But you know, I'm having a conversation, and let's just say the person I'm talking with, you know, is a real street type of dude, right? Younger, you know, more of this this age or whatever, into shit like that, right? So we was talking about some shit, and I was talking about, like, you know, I guess doing gay shit in jail or whatever the case may be. And he said that he thought snitching was worse than doing some gay shit.
Yo, hang up on that dude. The show's over, yo. Good night.
And I said, what?
Nah, that's not even a real thought, man. Was that real talk or he was pardoned? What was he doing? Like, that's such a wild take.
Bro, I bullshit you not. That's why I don't want to say who it is. Because I don't want the world.
Some people try to justify anything.
Get on this guy. But in that moment, I was like, what kind of street mind fuck is going on where you would think that snitching is worse than doing some gay shit? As my man China Brim would say, put down in the comments. Yo.
So is he talking about when you're locked up, when you're in the hole? Like,
I think all of that. I think I'm not. Yeah, I think it's when you're locked up. I don't know.
I think bro just.
Even if you're locked up, if you're outside, I don't give a fuck.
Well, he's basically saying he'd be gay for stay. Like, that's what it sounds like he's saying to me.
I just didn't understand it, and I'm like, hold up, am I the only one who thinks that that's not right? That's why I had to run. I'm like, how many people really think some shit like this? Because, see, at the same time, you know, this dude has some gang affiliation type of shit. You understand what I'm saying? So could these gang members really be like indoctrinating their members so crazy that they would think something like that snitching is the worst thing that you can do? And it's hello, it's not. It's not. Doing some gay shit is way worse than snitching, people. It's way worse. Okay? Like, I don't know who the fuck is teaching y'all street etiquette, but y'all got the wrong fucking OGs if y'all think that doing some bati shit is you're more virtuous to do that than to snitch.
But you see, what if that's the reverse psychology? They're trying to brainwash the new cats into this lifestyle by telling them, yo, snitching or do this, you know, snitching is worse. So why don't you just show me what that mouth do?
Yeah, that's some real prison culture shit. Like, oh man, I can't, and I feel like, back in my days, a so-called gangster would have never said no shit like that. You know what I mean? But now, hey, don't be in here trying to disrespect my man Zambian, first of all. Okay.
Nah, these are cornballs. Leave them to it.
Nah, for real.
These are some low frequency.
I'm just seeing some of this shit, and it's like, hang on now. We not doing that here. You know what I mean? I fucks with Zambian. Zambian been part of the family for a long time. And you know what I mean? We was here having a debate, but in no shape, form, or fashion does that mean you should be up here trying to disrespect this man. You heard? It's a very intelligent, fucking valuable asset. And, I appreciate him being here. And we not gonna, you know what I mean? We not gonna do shit like that. We all family here. So cut the bullshit. Anyway, yes, we can debate without insults, Chris Dragnet. Yeah, I'm just like, no OG from back in the days would say no crazy shit like that. Wait, so is it? I really hate this word, but in this situation, pause. Fred B. Jams. Thank you.
The conversation you were having with Diddy? Is that who you're talking about here?
Yeah, I'm not sure what conversation. Listen, man. Y'all got to get your fucking priorities right, man. Like, snitch.
Yo, if that's what the word on the street is, it's not even worth being in the streets anymore. Like, give it up. Go and be a librarian or something. If that's what they're saying, that's the code of the streets now, you can have it.
You know what? This leads me, before we get out, this leads me to another thought or conversation. And I just had this the other day with my boy Roman. Shout out to Roman. He made up a good point, but then I think he overthought it and went a little deep with it. But here's the basic gist of it. The internet killed the streets. Let's think about that for a second. The internet killed the streets and street culture as we used to know it. Now, he started going deep into some other shit, and I'm just like, hold up. It's not even that deep, Roman. Like, on a surface level, it killed the streets. Here's how, right? Back in the days, you used to have to go on the street to get certain information. Right? You couldn't just fucking sit up in the crib and find out what the fuck's going on. You had to get your ass up, go out on the block and find out, who shot who's fucking who fucking, where the good weed is at, where the next jam is going to be. All of that shit you had to find out on the street. If you wanted to kick it to some broads, you had to go outside on the block type of shit and hope something walked past type of shit. You couldn't just run up in somebody's DMs and get you some pussy that way. You had to go out onto the street. You had to go onto the street to see what the latest fashion was, what the latest slang was. You had to go on the street for damn near everything. You don't have to do none of that no more. You don't even have to go outside to get something to eat. The internet has killed the streets. Before, gangsters didn't want to be photographed. You literally will see videos in the 80s when motherfuckers might come through the hood with cameras and shit like that, and you'll see niggas like this on the block, niggas that's hustling, covering their faces. Fast forward to now, the drug dealers want to be on camera. Motherfuckers want you to see what they got. The internet killed the streets. It's like, am I wrong?
Counterpoint, Jay. Counterpoint.
Go ahead.
I think the internet has the streets is going to be what the streets always was. I think that the internet has just brought a lot of more light, because I might have heard this on one of your past shows. You know very well, coming up in that era, that some of those gangsters back in the day were flashy. They loved to shine. You know, they had the chinchillas and the mink coats and all of that. They were flossing. It's just that the internet wasn't around for them to be as, like you were coast to coast now. Before, if a gangster was, or whatever you want to call them, the pimp or whatever, they were in the streets and they were rocking their chinchilla. It's just only the people there who saw it. Now you'll be across the, coast to coast and around the world with an IG account or whatever the case may be. So those who were always trying to floss, yeah, that was their thing. Those who didn't want to be seen like that, like you're saying, those who hid their faces when they saw a camera around and didn't want to be, all in the front row and things, they stay the same.
We'll see. Okay, counterpoint to the counterpoint. The ones that you're talking about, those flossy ones, they would either only dress like that when they was going out type of shit. And if you caught them on the block on an average day, they're probably not going to be dressed all like that. And if you did pull a fucking camera out, they're going to cover their fucking face if they're on the block. Now, if they're at the club and all that type of shit, then they're going to want all the cameras on them type of shit. Now, if they are if they were the type that tried to be flossy all the time, either they was the type that wasn't out there with any type of work on them type of shit where they was going to get, locked up type of shit, or they made themselves hot by being too fucking flashy and they didn't fucking last in the fucking game. So, yeah, I'm just saying, like the real hustlers and all that back then, yes, a lot of them would be low key and they didn't want to be photographed and all this type of shit. But yes, there always was weirdos that wanted attention. But the internet now has bred it to where there's more of those weirdos than there was before. You see what I'm saying? There's more of a lot of the bullshit and less of the quality shit in this day and time because of the internet. Like, come on, when we was coming up, there wasn't that many gay people. Let's keep it real. We all knew some gay people, but God damn it, there wasn't as many as there is now. It's like, why is that? Because they help proliferate it with things like the internet and They just promoting all the weird shit in all aspects, in all fucking different genres of culture. And I'm just saying, in street culture, this whole internet has made it to where you said the streets is always going to be what they were. No, the streets are not what they used to be. You can't, with the advent of the internet and all these cameras that exist now and all this type of shit, you can't do all the street shit that you used to do.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a camera on every fucking corner, you know.
And in everyone's pocket, these camera phones. That's a tracking device right there.
And they use that. They say, okay, let me see your cell phone.
Yep.
And they see where your cell phone has been, and they'll put you in the vicinity of a crime and all this type of shit to say, no, your cell phone was there, motherfucker. You was there. Yeah, if you watch the first 48, that's how they solve 95% of the crimes, I would say, these days. I don't know how they were solving crimes, to be honest, before this, because that's all they use nowadays is cell phone and video footage from the fucking area. Yeah, combined with snitching.
Oh yeah.
Hang on, this Mum Ra. What's up, Mum Ra? Thank you, Mum Ra. I said, how dope was it to hear your song in New York Undercover? Super dope. How dope do you think it would be to hear your song on a nationally televised show that was super hot at the time? Thank you, Mum Ra. Yeah, I kind of forgot about New York Undercover, didn't y'all? And whatever happened to the Spanish dude on New York Undercover? Because Malik Yoba seemed to go on and have a career, but whatever happened to that Spanish dude? Just a question. But yeah, I feel like the internet, it just changed the game. Like, yeah, it changed the game in so many ways. Shit, it made fat girls feel like they was bad bitches. Now you got fat girls throwing niggas out their cribs. Talk about get out. They used to be a street staple back in the days, fat women. What? You can get your life back together with a fat woman. Not nowadays. Internet done fucked it up. And now the bad broads think they badder. They think everything is a transaction. Everything is, you know, everything she do is worth money type of shit. And you got the internet to thank for it. Even how, you know, even the way how music and hip hop and all, it's just not the same anymore. And it's like you can trace it to this internet shit. When Napster and all that shit first came out, that was like the beginning of the end. It's like it almost took away the value of the music. You know, people valued it a little more when they had to go buy them fucking albums and make decisions and, you know. Then you could just download whatever and, you know.
That was momentous, though.
Say, watch your mouth. Michelle said, watch your mouth. What'd I say wrong, Michelle?
I just realized you were dropping Henry Coleman. I was trying to remember the name. That was Henry Coleman.
Henry Coleman. What are you talking about?
What you were saying about fat girls? There's a comedian, Henry Coleman, did a set. He's hilarious.
Yeah, in fact, that's where I had heard that from when he was talking about fat girls was a place where you can get your, yeah, that's where I heard that routine.
He was like, He was exactly. He said like, you know, she'll take her key back.
Right.
It's like,
Uncivilized Savage said, back then, beef meant eye contact. Now it's screenshots and unsubscribing. Ooh. You see? That's real. And eye contact also meant you're going to watch what the fuck you say. Because y'all might have face-to-face contact. See, right now, people, you know, with this internet shit, people are quick to say slick shit out their mouth that they know they would never say if they was in person, in front of standing right in front of the person. You know, it gives you a certain courage, a certain anonymity that you couldn't have with the streets. You know what I mean?
what are those the famous words attributed to Mike Tyson? The internet has made a whole lot of people feel brave enough to say things because they won't get punched in the mouth. I'm messing it up, but you know,
yeah, something to that effect, basically. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Something to that effect. And that's what we're dealing with right now. That's why people, you know, will be quick to say, you know, tell you to suck their dick and all this type of shit on the internet and, you know, get flipped with you and then block you and, you know, I'm never going to see this motherfucker.
I just found it. Sorry to jump in. I just found it. Social media made you all way too comfortable with disrespecting people and not getting punched in the face for it. Iron Mike Tyson.
And another Mike Tyson quote, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Oh, that philosopher Mike Tyson. Fred Jam said, internet created more fake women that look like. Women used to not want to wear, I don't think he said that look alike. Women used to not want to wear the same outfits. Maybe I'm tripping. No, you're not tripping. And not only do they look alike, but a lot of them are trying to look like trannies. A lot of them are getting their beauty and style tips from transvestites. Which is why you got, you know, women putting fake hair over their hair and fake eyelashes over their eyelashes and fake nails over their nails and fake tits over their tits and fake. It's just unreal. Pun intended. It's fucking crazy. It's really crazy. Some of the shit that these women do. Like men might front about, you know, how much money they make or some shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? But you don't see a lot of dudes out here the way women do. You don't see them with wigs and, you know what I mean? Now you do got some of these Beijing guys, but people clown that so fast that you've got to be a fool to get Beijing now. You know what I mean? Like, you got to really be reaching if you get that Beijing shit, because they make it say, look, he got the face, he getting his hair painted. But girls be putting glue on their head, all kind of crazy shit. And we just act like that shit is okay.
Isn't that Jaylen Brown?
Who?
Jaylen Brown.
Who's that?
For the Celtics. He was getting dragged for having painted on hair or something. Because every time he would like brush up against another player.
Right. You get it, it's leaking off onto them.
Exactly.
See, you fucking up
jersey. Because that dude went from like, he
was
was known for his braids, so it must have been a real kick for him to realize he's losing his hair.
I'm just saying, like, girls get away with a lot of shit. And then have the nerve to be like, why can't you be real with me? What? Be real with you? You can't be real with yourself, god damn it. Everything about you fake. You want me to be real with you.
Yeah, that comes back to, again, that's social media. Everybody's creating these fake lives. And if you're easily influenced, you get to thinking that it's you who's doing something wrong.
When people's only showing you a snapshot, and they're showing you the best snapshot, because they might have took 10 snapshots before you see the one snapshot that they showed you. Because in the other 9 snapshots, they was looking fucked up. Something happened, you know. There was a roach in the background, something that, oh no, I can't put that up or I'll be exposed. You know? And so when you live your life in real time, sometimes, you know, sometimes people will see your fuck ups. You know, you don't always get to edit out your fuck ups in life. But the internet has made it where people are accustomed to doing that. They're accustomed to editing out whenever they look awkward or, you know, not at their best. But the reality is we all have those times. We all have that angle, you know, that one angle where we don't look our best, or, you know, we all have times in our lives when, you know,
things ain't perfectly curated.
All and shit ain't perfect and all of this type of shit, you know, and we got to realize that that's the reality of life. That's the reality of life. And that's what should make you appreciate the times when you get it right. You see what I'm saying? But if you think you can live a life where everything or all the negative shit is omitted, you know, and edited out, impossible. You're gonna be doing a hell of a lot of fucking editing for the rest of your fucking life, trying to live up to this fake, you know, representation of what you would like to appear to be instead of who you really are.
Yeah.
I think we could end it off on jewels like that. What do you think, Zambian?
Yes, sir.
He said everything that glitter ain't gold. Well, Zambian, I appreciate you joining in. It was Scotland would be like the same time as UK and all that, right?
Yeah. Scotland's part of the UK. So United Kingdom, UK is Scotland, England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. That's the kingdom that's united.
Somebody said LJ random, but you still hate on Kendrick Lamar? I never hated on Kendrick Lamar.
Hate again.
You see how people twist shit around? Like never hated on Kendrick Lamar. I just said I like other people more than him. That's it.
There's a narrative right there.
There's the narrative. God damn, y'all motherfuckers is hilarious. But listen, I appreciate everybody coming through the whole GPS. Michelle Williams. I'm sorry. Did I say something bad? Was it about fat girls? Sorry. If that's what you was talking about. I was just actually I was quoting I was reciting a joke that I had heard, which, you know, had some truth to it, because
but you know what, Lord Jamar, you know, on that point, the funny thing is, I've seen Henry Coleman do that joke twice. So the first time, I believe the first time he presented it was fat girls. And then maybe either to be politically correct or whatever, the next time I heard him say that same joke, he changed it to ugly girls. Because no one's going to object to, ugly girls. No one's going to I'm the ugly girl. But when he was saying fat girls, some of his audience must have felt away. So that's
interesting.
He did switch it up. He switched it up because the first time I heard him say that joke, it was, fat girls. And he was saying, Lizzo messed the game up because of fat girls now think they're regular people, And then the next time I heard him say that same joke, he cleaned it up a little bit and was instead saying ugly girls. So that was interesting.
That is interesting. Pressure is a motherfucker, boy. I tell you. Well, shit, about to get up out of here. Zambian, appreciate you once again.
Thank you. Tell us when the next show is, Jay.
Next Wednesday or Thursday. Probably Wednesday. I got to check the schedule, but yeah.
Y'all have good weekends then.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You have a good weekend yourself. And I will see you next week, sir.
Peace. Stay safe, y'all.
Yes, sir. Peace. Truly Zambian. Always good. Building with intelligent minds. Eli Green. Peace, my brother. Yes, one little criticism, people think it's hate. It's ridiculous. I know. But this is like I said, the internet helped kill the streets. Because guess what? Back in the days, you had to have a thick skin on the streets. You had to have a thick skin. You know what type of fucking snaps and shit would go on about you and your mother and your... Boy, you better fucking have a thick skin fucking around with them screets, because a motherfucker will say all kind of hurtful shit right in your goddamn face, and you better not show no fucking signs of weakness, or it's over for your ass. You heard? Now you motherfuckers probably crying behind your keyboard when somebody disagree with you. What's wrong? They didn't like my story. That's right. Ice, baby. Yes, love you, Michelle. We just having fun over here. This is the season to get in shape, eat right, and sharpen up your self-defense game. It's getting crazy. Hey, you fucking right. Yep, had to have a solid character to exist back in the days. So true, so true. Well, listen, y'all be safe. GPS, about to go make me some dinner. But till next time, the best time. Oh, he said I had it. You like this? Once again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Got notification in the bell and click all so you will be notified when new content drops. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Whole CPS family, much love to you. I will see you on the next one.